everyone, welcome to our presentation. We are here today to talk to you about our event management in tourism and hospitality industry. Without further ado, let's get on to the video and don't forget to share, like and subscribe. Hi, my name is Nur Nelia Afina binti Zainazan and my matrix number is 36 DUP19F1059.
Hi, my name is Siti Nurakila binti Baharun and my matrix number is 36 DUPF1010.
Hello everyone, my name is Muna Zafira binti Muhammad Zarir. My matrix number is 36 DUP19F1002.
Hi, my name is Nelrin Alicius and I'm from class DUP 4A.
Is Nur Emilia binti Zainal and my matrix ID is 36 DUP19F1022.
Hi, my name is Jun Arlia Junius.
And hi, my name is Nurul Shawani Zabidreli and my matrix number is 360 DUP19F1019. So now we will start with our first presenter.
Hi, I'm the first presenter. I will explain about interpret participant feedback. First is with seeing their positive update in social media such as WhatsApp status, Instagram story and Facebook. Second is by using Google Form about event feedback. We will send the link into the group and we will ask them to fulfill the Google Form and we can see how their reactions about our event. Lastly is by asking participant by self about how's the event. We will ask them by ourselves and we will ask about how's the event going, which is it good or not. That's all from me. I will pass this presentation to the next presenter.
Thank you, Emilia. Next is event management and cost analysis. It is an essential to measuring the cost-output relationship of business or event. It is to help to determine the cost occurred in hiring the input and how well this can be managed to increase the output in the firm. The importance of it is essential in identifying the fine and amount required to complete particular project. It might end up spending a large amount of resources and any unnecessary project material without any of it. Next is the reason why is it important. The first one is to simplify complex business decision. It is allow company to measure the benefits of a decision. The second one is to prepare budget and sell projection. Make a budgeting for whole and make it easier to understand and reliable to detect any mistake. The third reason is to improve credibility by performing sensitivity of analysis. Analysis can be instrumental in improving by the credibility of it. The last one is to establish goal. Analyzing costs and their potential help to pave the way of the organization to set a benchmark. Next, I will pass to the next presenter, Muna Zafira.
Thank you to Jun Arlia. Next, I will explain about Clarify Supplier Performance, or we call as SPM. SPM act to measure, analyze and manage the performance of supplier. The SPM is the second person to train the supplier about to manage or guide the business or program. Supplier Management Professional, or we call as SMP, seek to cut costs, elevate risk and drive continuous improvement, which means the SMP have more skill and they will control and guide the SPM to train and how to manage supplier wisely. I will discuss about supplier performance management best practice. Firstly, all organizations must develop a core competency to quantify and manage their risk effectively in order to be successful over time. For example, there is an unfortunate situation that requires the organization need to unite to solve the problem. Secondly, the supplier management needs to be a best practice to control or prevent from substantial risk and potential for disaster. Firstly, have a clear view of your total third-party expenditure. Next, assess key supplier by their risk level. Furthermore, pre-qualify new supplier. Lastly, sole source supplier needs special attention. Lastly, as an organization that involved need to take sufficient steps to manage them effectively. Firstly, identify the risk. Within the risk is high risk, low risk or medium risk. Secondly, evaluate the risk. Lastly, build a contingency plan.
Definition of SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is a powerful exercise for assessing our event's chances for success or failure. A SWOT analysis is also one of those analyses where events occur either offline or online while doing strategic planning and become important for analyzing current events. What is objective of SWOT analysis? First, promoting strategic thinking to help in decision making, acknowledging the opportunities and threats of the event, to better understand the positive and negatives of the event, to organize the factors that works the best and worst for the events. Okay, let me tell you what is strength, opportunities, weaknesses, and traits. First, strength, the powerful of tackling all things that can be done well or strongly in the event, all the qualities that can help an event achieve success. It can be tangible or intangible. Here are some ways that could describe the strength. First, an idea that hasn't been done before, an experienced, motivated team with a record of success, an existing social media following that will serve as a powerful marketing platform, and lastly, a financial plan that indicates potential for healthy revenue. So next, I will explain about weaknesses. Weaknesses address everything that the event cannot do well or is not strong at. All the attributes that hinder achievement as an organized event. Weaknesses of event are opposite from the strength. It's very important to be honest about our weaknesses, which these might include things like first, lack of funding or high expenses for things like outreach and venue rental. Second, an event team that's enthusiastic but inexperienced. And lastly, lack of technology you will need to run an efficient event. So, what opportunity in the event? Opportunity is to deal with everything that fits the event. It's also one of the factors in the community or market that could positively impact an event. So, for the example is, first is a little competition. If we operate in a niche market, we have the chance to strengthen our position and prepare for the times when our competitors become strong. Second, favorable economic conditions. The market situation is our ally, so we use it to prepare for potential in the bad times. And third, support from local authorities. And lastly is for the threats. Threats are exactly opposite to the opportunities. Any kind of external factor that refrains the events from achieving the target or making it a success. And among the external factors are, first, economic changes, second, changes in market trends, third, strong competition, fourth, natural disaster, and lastly, taxes. So, for example of the threat, they have the threat and the contingency plan. So first, bad weather will derail your music festival. Second, another event will provide competition. And lastly, you will find enough sponsors to cover the cost. And that's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
What is postmortem? A postmortem is a process for discussing and documenting a project effectiveness so you can improve operation and mitigate future risks. The process of conducting a postmortem also produces a document that recaps all of a project's events and findings. Postmortem report is a collaborative reflection that allows a team to assess the success, challenge, and failures of a particular project after it is complete. In other words, it is an opportunity to conduct a retrospective analysis of work process, team collaboration, and technology use in the workplace. Importantly, postmortem are not used to lay blame on any employee. Rather, they are meant to identify and assess what went right, what went wrong, and what can be improved in future projects. Most obviously, it gives employees, managers, and decision makers a chance to learn from their experiences and to understand the success and failure of the project. As a workplace genre, the postmortem report also provides structured feedback to a team, thus improving communication, collaboration, and cooperation amongst members. Generally, there are two types of postmortem report. First is comprehensive postmortem. A comprehensive postmortem report focuses on one specific project and articulates the particularities of that project, demands, constraints, and avoidance. In being comprehensive, this kind of postmortem report aims to truly describe and assess a teamwork on a particular project. Next is multi-project postmortem. A multi-project postmortem takes a wider perspective that the comprehensive postmortem in calculating the success and challenge of multiple projects. In so doing, a multi-project postmortem identifies success and challenge in activities across a range of project, process, and tasks. So next presenter, I will pass to Nurul Shawaniza.
Thank you to Neryn. So, a successful postmortem can accomplish: first, improve efficiency. A postmortem can reveal duplicate work, currently process step, and other inefficient tasks. Second is boost communication. This is a common problem in project, is a lack of good and timely communication. One of the key steps in the postmortem process is to communicate the finding from the meeting and let interested parties know when each action item is finished. 3. Learn from mistakes. This is the most useful part of autopsy, is identify what is wrong and finding ways to prevent the problem from recurring. 4. Get closer. This is about communicating when an action item is complete. Let team members know that a problem they encountered has occurred attended. 5. Share information. This sharing lessons from autopsy with other teams working on similar project help everyone inside organization. 6. Is improve morale. This autopsy allow people to call problems and make sure they can be addressed. Progress raise morale because people know they can indirectly contribute to the quality of their workplace and work product. And lastly is celebrate successes. Is this in addition to analyzing the problem, the autopsy allow the team to state their victory, which contribute to increase team morale and unity. So I will pass to the next presenter is Akila.
Thank you to Shawaniza. Hi everyone, my name is Siti Nur Akila, and now I'll tell you about how to prepare postmortem report professionally. To prepare it professionally, there must be 3 things included: before, during, and after postmortem, which I will tell you next. For before postmortem meeting, immediately schedule for a postmortem after the event conclude, and go through each member's note to save time making decision later. And the third one is create an agenda for the meeting not to get sidetracked. For during postmortem, pick someone as moderator, ready your notes detailed, ready to answer questions like stated, let everyone speak their mind, and finally, act professionally. After the postmortem, write the report. The report should include dates of the project, why it was launched, what the project has brought, feedback from team members, what is the result, does why show like that, next action, and lastly, what is different next time a project is launched. I think that's all for us today. We hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for staying with us till the end. Bye!